When you first met Emma, what was your impression of her as an actress and as a collaborator?
I mean, how much time you got?
Wait, actually, all the time you want.
No, you know, the first time we worked together was in this audition for Crazy Stupid Love. And, you know, we read the lines or whatever, you know, we did the scene a few times, but we were kind of improvising before and after the actual scene, you know? Mm-hmm. And the directors were like, why don't you guys just, you know, kind of improvise the scene, you know? And it was just, you know, I don't know if you know, I mean, if you've improvised before, but it can be a nightmare. And
in what way?
You know, it's just like, there's just something just uncomfortable about it. And, you know, it's a scary thing to do because, you know, especially in an audition, because you don't know your characters, you don't know each other, you don't know what, you know, you don't have any frame of reference for what you're doing. What are you going to talk about in this scene? You have to create a scene in that moment. And we just couldn't shut up. It was just lots to talk about, and you know, it was very easy. And you know, improvisation just creates a connection in a scene because you're creating it together, and you really have to listen to one another, and you have to really be there. And so, you know, that just kind of set I think, a foundation for how to work. And in Crazy Stupid Love, there was whole sequences where they just had us improvise. That sequence was all, I mean, sort of a scene that we improvised and then created, or there's scenes afterwards that are all improvised. So,
well, you've worked with incredible actresses. You know, Karen Mulligan. You've worked with Michelle Williams. And others that we could just keep naming. I mean, you've worked with incredible actresses. What is it about Emma that is special?
She can drink at work.
Thank you so much. Just gonna soak it up.
And the beauty is that she seems drunk when she's sober anyway. Yeah. So when she's drunk, you can't tell.
It just comes naturally. It is what it is. You're so sweet. You're too much.
No, she does. You know, what Emma, I think, does that I love is she always is looking for how the scene can also be funny. It's because she has such a great love of comedy, and because her heroes are comedians. When she's in a dramatic scene, you know, she's looking for the funny. Mm-hmm. And it just, you know, I'm similar, and I feel like that's such it's a fun way to work, and it's a fun game to play. And I think that's you know, that's unique, you know, to be able to take something that's dramatic and find a way to find what's funny about it as well without making it comedy. Mm-hmm. Is a very no, too much. She drinks at work. How about that? Is that fun? No.
Just the whole time.
How do you feel about the fact that you're both Best Actor, Best Actress nominated for singing, dancing, acting your heart out in La La Land?
It's pretty crazy. I think it's really, I did musicals growing up, and I stopped doing musicals because I was not a singer. And so it's pretty insane.
I mean, but you say you're not a singer. And
well, I've taken more voice lessons now than I had then, but yeah. It was something I always wanted to do when I was a kid, but never really thought I could do. So it's pretty special to have gotten to do something like this.
And Brian, when you hear her tell that she doesn't sing, and
He can't take it. He says, listen, that's what he calls Emsies. That's what he calls me.
I've never called her
he says,
Emsies.
he goes, listen, he's like, Emsies, Emzos, you are the most beautiful singer in the world. And I say, right, Rises. Stop it now.
You've never called
you
him,
stop.
but you've never called him Rises.
He says, you're just so special. You don't want anyone to tell you different. And I say, okay.
But you've never
I
called
really
him
don't
Rises.
need to be here, and you'll learn that.
You've never called him Rises.
I could just tell you everything he says. That's classic Rises.
She tries to push those, but they just don't stick for some reason.
Never works.
Probably because they're
Okay,
unnatural.
for real C's. You sang.
You realize I was attempting to make him laugh, and he didn't snort once.
Humble Brian, are you able to look at your performance and appreciate all your hard work and seeing that this is quite an amazing performance and that you've earned your Best Actor Oscar nomination?
But I ate proper food. If I'd done it all in peanut butter sandwiches, it would have been a real.
Okay,
Would have
let's
been a real
put
thing.
aside the comedy. Do you
Damn.
I think I just got served.
Yeah. He serves it cold.
He serves it ice
He
cold.
serves it ice cold.
I'm waiting for the real answer.
What was the question?
Do you see how you deserve? Is that what it was?
Yeah, go for it, Emma.
What did I say? I will say this, that a lot of times when this happens for people, it's usually one or two people from a film that are singled out. And I love that we're talking about our crew because so much of what we do is informed by all the help that we have. And there was so much goodwill. People shared their love of things with us, tried to impart them to us. My piano teacher came over for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 months and sat next to a bench and took me by the hand and tried to infuse her love of music and jazz into me. Same with Mandy Moore, our choreographer, the list goes on. So what's been really wonderful about this film is that so many of them are being acknowledged as well. It makes it more special, so because they deserve it. And I think at the end of the day, we just were really lucky to make this movie. It just felt like, I can't believe we got to do this. And the fact that the response has been what it is, that people are appreciating it in the way that they are, is really more than you could ask for. It's been such a wonderful surprise. That the whole experience has been wonderful. So the awards stuff is just really icing on the cake. The fact that the film has found an audience in the way that it has is really the greatest reward.
Well, I have to say that.
And there's so many beautiful performances this year. It's really been a wonderful year of in film and so much humanity in these movies and in these performances, and to be able to be an actor and do it professionally, to do it for a living is enough, and then to be acknowledged in this way in a year where so many films have been so sensitive and beautiful is really it's really that's a pleasure.
Well,
Okay, I'm done.
Well, the two of you are outstanding in my book and everybody's book. And thank you for being here tonight. And Liz, Damien Chazelle, you're not going home empty-handed. So Damien Chazelle is gonna present your award, but before we present the award, one last look at your amazing, magnificent performances in La La Land. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
One of the things I was so touched about La La Land in that particular scene is the fact that we all have to expose ourselves and work hard for what we want, and we have to face rejection, this, you know, against all odds. And you guys, as actors, when you first started, you actually faced quite a lot of rejection and auditioning, etc. Was that something, I mean, how did you overcome rejection and the obstacles that people were throwing at you as performers?
The people I love, probably. My mom, my friends, my family treat me exactly the same way now as they did when people would not invite me back into the room to audition. So that's probably how I got through that, and still do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I cannot imagine just exposing yourself and putting yourself out there and facing that at all.
The amazing thing about it is that it's not life or death, you know? It's not actually life or death.
Yeah, but I mean, Emma, I mean, I'm calling you Emma, but I know that your name is Emily, but...
Thank you.
Did you have a backup plan if you didn't succeed?
I don't think at 15 I did, which is kind of the benefit of being 15, is that, you know, you're just sort of, you have that single focus. But I did have the, you know, at that age I was able to say, well, if in a couple of years this doesn't work out, you know, I'm going to keep doing homeschooling. I can maybe go to college, and I can, you know, find other things I love. But that wasn't really a clear thing for me. I didn't know what else I would ever want to do. I still don't so far. I mean, the things I love have expanded, and there's things that I'm interested in a big way now outside of acting, but it still is the best job I can imagine. And I truly love it, even when it's infuriating, like, for instance, working with Ryan, or just basically working with Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.